And I'd like to welcome you all to the Unfiltered Truth today. We have a special guest, first in-person guest, Raheem Kone, former Experience Academy alumni, future Experience Academy Hall of Famer, all-time rebounder at Experience Academy, also sophomore at Tacoma Falls.
Yes, sir.
You want to tell us a little bit about those records you're stacking over there?
Yes, sir. And also, I want to add, I think I'm like top 2 or 3 in points here too. So yeah, but yeah, over there I'm like doing very good. Actually, we had a great year. We didn't win the championship, unfortunately, but we still had a great up and down year. But me, my individual stats, I was 17 points per game, 10 rebounds per game, and that was the number 25 scorer in the nation, number 5 scorer in the nation, and then also my field goal percentage was like 56, 57. I was at number 10 in the nation at that as well. Won second team all conference, 494 season points, 27 against Division I Charleston Southern. So, you know, I've had a pretty good year in some people's eyes.
So one of the reasons you're here is not only have we known each other for a long time,
Yes, sir.
not only are you one of the most seasoned kids that I've ever coached here, but you have an interesting story.
Mm-hmm.
So we like to bring people on here that have interesting stories, and we like to hear the good, the bad, the ugly, the unfiltered truth.
Yes, sir.
And so, you know, I know when you started here at Experience Academy several years ago, you kind of ran into some challenges. You tore your ACL while you were here, so you had to deal with that. And then we had to deal with the issue of getting you back here the next year healthy so that we could go. But I kind of want to jump into that and have you sort of tell the story for the audience on what that was like. Like you come to Experience Academy, you're doing well, you're dominating, everything's going good, and then just kind of take us through what happens.
All right, so yeah, I basically come here. I'm gonna even say the story of me coming to Experience. It was like really a calling from God, like something special, because one of my old high school teammates was hacked on Twitter, and then it made a group chat with me and Coach Rob, I believe, and then he didn't even know about it. And this was like 2 days before boarding day, and then they brought me aboard basically, and then now the history is here. But basically, I come to Experience, I'm doing good, I love the team, everything is going great. We have a week that's a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday game. Monday we play Combine, have a good game against them. I think I had like 20 points. Next game we had played Walter State. I got this great dunk over 2 players. And the next day on Wednesday, Coach Grayson pulls me aside before the warm-up. He's like, "Hey, that's one of the greatest dunks I've seen in person." He was like, "This game, I want you to really like push it to the limit, like just show me what you got," basically. That game, I had like 38 points, 20 rebounds, 16 for 18, only 2 misses the whole game. So it's just like greatness. So then the next day, he's like, "I got one more challenge, just one more. We're gonna play a scrimmage. I want to see how much you could get." It's me, him, Coach Rob, I believe, or one of the other coaches, Coach Cross, one of the other shorter players on our team. What was his name again, Grant?
Grant Thrasher, yeah.
Yes, sir. So yeah, shout out Grant, you know. So he was on our team, and then we was just hooping, you know. It was like a great game. I think I probably had like 60, like I'm just going full balls to the wall. So then just because I'm going so hard, I was always pushing my body every day, working, but I wasn't really putting the rest in that now that I've learned to do. But I unfortunately ended up tearing my ACL that day. So then everything, I felt like it was over, you know, like coach was telling me like, "You're good, like it's not torn, like, you know, it's just a little tweak." And I'm like, "Coach, this one's bad, like, I could feel it." And I'm just like, you know, I couldn't blame nobody. Like, it's basketball at the end of the day, like things happen. Like at the end of the day, all answers are with God. So it's like, I can't say this shouldn't have happened, because now my career, I've done so much, and I still look back and I'm not really mad that it happened, but it's unfortunate. But you know, I'm still here today. So
It was super weird because we did start playing a few games before that happened.
yeah, it was like I played like probably like 6, 7 games.
And we were really good. We were winning most of our games.
Yes, sir.
I know we were competitive in that Walter State game. I want to say that we were probably leading at halftime.
Yeah, definitely.
And then just sometimes inexperience gets you down the stretch when you're playing against a good junior college. But, for a lot of people tuning in, like, I'm one of those coaches that don't just like to coach.
Yeah.
Like, I'm big on if you're a coach, why are you a coach? How are you a coach? And I love to get up and down with my players. Like, so the idea of was to probably bring you on my squad to challenge the other 4 guys that were starting, 4 to 6 guys you have in those top spots, and just let them know that basketball can be easy if it's played the right way, and keep the game close. Most of the time, my team usually wins those kind of runs that we have in practice, but it's always fun. So it's unfortunate that happened. So I remember you stayed on campus for quite a while, even after that happened, and then I don't think they did a surgery until you went back home.
I didn't even get into that, but just because it being COVID, because that year was so crazy.
COVID,
Exactly.
That's why it was crazy.
Exactly.
I do forget it.
We forget
COVID.
it, but it was COVID that year. So that's how this whole coming to experience happened. A lot of schools kind of backed off on me with COVID, so I was like, I gotta go prep. So I came here, and then that's why everything was so crazy. So when I tore my ACL in December, I didn't get surgery all the way until February, and I tore it December 4th. I got surgery February 15th. So that's a whole 3 months of just torn ligaments. And I didn't only tear ACL, I tore ACL, MCL, PCL, LCL, all in one.
I can remember going through it and just telling you it was going to be okay.
Yes, sir.
We're going to come back the next year. We're going to do it. And, I remember, fast forward a little bit, we come back and you have the surgery, we go through the summer. Me and you are staying in contact quite a bit, which is, I think that's good. And then you end up coming back, and I don't know how soon it is before you get back, but I know you're not necessarily supposed to be participating. But at some point, you just ease into it, and like you're limping up and down the floor.
Exactly. I remember.
And you're like still competing and doing well against a lot of other kids that are healthy.
Exactly.
Just being like whatever percentage healthy you were, 50%, 60%, 20%, and like we're still winning. And like I said, I'm a basketball maniac, so as a coach, it's probably somewhat alarming that I will let you be out there hooping it up. But I also, coming from my own injuries and broken ankles and torn ankles and things like that, that you have to get out there and just do it. You have to play. You have to play through it, even if it's terrible or hard. Like there's something about putting that work in that is helping your injury. So, we end up going through that, and then, of course, I don't know how long it is before you hit full stride. I would say probably January, you're 70% maybe there?
Yeah, maybe.
And you're never really 100% the whole season. We go, we're winning games, we have a good basketball team, we have other guys on there that are going to go to college that are being picked up. So we have a good competitive team, and we're playing nationally ranked opponents like Fort Union, Massanutten.
We even beat Hargrave, whatever.
Hargrave.
Hamilton Heights.
Yeah, we beat Hamilton Heights. I remember that. They were ranked number 1 in prep in the nation that year. They came to our place. Crazy.
They got Soto, he's at Georgia right now. They had a lot of D1 guys.
And we beat them, and you were only
literally
75%. Like, that's what people don't understand. And then so after that, we go down here to Phenom Post-Grad National Championships, and we go to the championship game, and we just fall up a little bit short. But lo and behold, you get an offer, Southern University of New Orleans, which is a good offer, and so does a couple other of our guys who get offers from there. And so you end up on campus down there. And tell us about that experience.
So basically, Southern University, we actually went there as like a trio package. Me, Caleb Williams, Isaiah Sanders. Those my teammates here at Experience. And us 3 going there, like if people know any of those players, we're all 20-point per game scorers. So we're all trying to still do that at the collegiate level. We all start. Well, Caleb was ineligible first semester, but we're still all starting on the team whenever we all got back. And it's just like we couldn't really find the niche. So like on paper, our record might say like 2-24, but in reality, we're losing all those games by 6, like against Xavier, Loyola. Like we're competing, but it's just like we're all freshmen. So we're just trying to get it there. We're playing 30 minutes a game. Like Coach said, I'm still not even healthy when I go to college. Like I truly never even got cleared to play. It's just like once I showed my doctor some of my film, and he's like, well, I guess you're playing, so I guess you're ready. And that's literally how I got cleared. But it's like, I never truly went to the doctor and they signed off on paperwork saying you could go back and play. Because like I said, when I came back to experience, I was just watching practice like my first few weeks and I still was hurt, but I just like, nah, gotta get on the court. So then I'm limping up and down until basically like it finally broke like Forrest Gump leg, basically. Like it finally got back together. And that's how I got on court. But we go to Southern, I'm still not healthy. We're playing whatever. And same thing there. I got my brace on. I feel like it's kind of holding me back. I end up taking the brace off and they're all looking at me like, why are you doing that? I did it mid-game and I'm just like, I don't need it. It's like, did your doctor say that? I'm like, I don't need it. It's okay. And I never put it back on since that day. So basically, it just was an up and down year due to my injury, due to all us being freshmen. And then kind of a lot of players kind of hating on me. I kind of had like this girl situation. Some of the players didn't like that. They started hating on that. So they were kind of looking me off, even though the play would be for me. They'll take a crazy look and then coach would take them out and they just wouldn't care really. So it was just a whole crazy experience. It was an HBCU, so, it was good. They won the championship this year, so, they got their stuff together, but it was definitely an experience, so it was great.
So you're at Southern University of New Orleans. You're playing with Isaiah and Caleb, and you're doing well. And what are some of the challenges that you're having as a freshman in college, though? Like, is there anything like specifically like you can speak about, like you could help steer young men in the direction of like being freshmen?
Yeah, I got you. I'd definitely say for me, it was kind of like this part I would say is easier as in living on your own, because I was living on my own kind of since I was like 16, 17, my senior year in high school. My mom moved me to Texas and I was there on my own. Then I come to experience, we're living on that experience. So I go to college, I'm already kind of ready for that due to Experience Academy and everything, like prepping me for that. So once I get there, that part was kind of easy, but it's still kind of hard for it being away from your parents, not really having that financial support, not even having that mental support. Because, some days you could have a bad game. Like at that point, I had a girlfriend that was staying out way, way far. So just imagine the people closest to you, you have a bad game, your mental's bad, you can't really turn and talk to these people, and then you got all this other outside stuff going on. Like, people don't understand when you go to college, you're entering a whole another atmosphere. This is a whole another life that you're adding on. Like, you got your high school friends, like the same thing you did in high school, those 400 people you met, interacted with, there's a whole another level of 400 people. So the good, bad, and ugly is gonna happen again, again. So you just gotta be ready for that. Like, not everything is gonna be peaches and cream. So at the end of the day, you just have to get ready for that adversity. Like, college is basically like adulthood at the end of the day. So if you're a kid, like, it's not gonna be good for you. You're gonna be like crying back to mommy and daddy. But if you feel like you could take it, you feel like you evolve to that next level, then you go ahead and jump on it, go to college, get ready. You're gonna have to be ready, like I said, financially and mentally, because that's mainly the two struggles I feel like came with it. Like, just going hard every day and remembering your goals. Like, why are you there? Like, don't just go there and just forget what you're trying to do just because stuff get hard. I've seen so many people who I believe was great people, great basketball players, could play professional, and they just quit basketball because of coaches, because of this collegiate level. Like, it's not easy at all. Like I said, like, there's players that probably not as good that could play before you because of fitting into a role. Like, college is a lot about your role. It's just a lot that goes into it. So it's definitely something you got to be ready for, like going to that level.
I definitely want to come back to roles and stuff like that here in a minute. So you go to SUNO, Southern University of New Orleans, and then you have an interesting detour where you go to Africa for how long?
I went there for 9 months.
For 9 months, and you're playing basketball in another country.
Yes, sir.
You're probably playing a different style of basketball. There's probably all different types of people around you. What is that experience like, and how did that help you grow into the situation that you're at now?
Yes, sir.
And the prosperity that you're feeling with the success of being at Tacoma Falls?
Okay, so I'd definitely say I went out there playing pro first. I just go to the beginning, how it all started. Like, after Southern University, I went to a JUCO and I did a little stint there. but I ended up leaving early because I had this opportunity ever since kind of the summer. And then I didn't really think of it as like a true possibility when they first told it to me, because they're telling me you're going to be playing pro. We're going to pay you 12 million. You could possibly play in the Olympics. I'm just looking at them like, nah, like this can't be true. I always had these goals. Everybody always tells me I'm a professional, and I know that I'm a professional, but it's just like seeing it happen. At this time, I'm 21. So seeing it already coming true, I'm freshman year in college, I'm just like, okay, let's do it. So I end up leaving JUCO early in like December, going out there. And then when I got out there, it was like, I'd say definitely for my experience was a little different because my father, he's like a prime minister over there. So like he kind of has money. So, his housing and situation is kind of like Americanized, you would say. Like we got maids, stuff like that. But for other people, because like I interact with these people, so it's like you still have to interact with that lifestyle. So it's a whole different ball game, like this is Africa at the end of the day. Like it's really like dirt roads, stuff like that. Like there's definitely beautiful parts of it, but there's still like they say in the movies, kind of like, there's definitely still rough parts of it. And I have to experience this. Like I got to go through days where there would be like militia activity, stuff like this, or just places that are not the cleanest, or places that are just like rougher, because like this is still like in sense a third world country. So it definitely was that aspect of it. But for the basketball, I'd say it definitely, when I got there, it was beautiful. Well, the whole experience was beautiful. I'd say when I first got there, my role really, because like I was the American player, like when they bring, because I think they can only bring like 3 American players or something. So we're mainly roles are scorers. So we had another American player, the number 1 scorer in the league. And our team was the number 2 team in the whole league. So we were a great team. So we had the number 1 scorer in the league. We had like a 9-time champion. And like, these were like my players. These were like my mentors in a sense. Like I trained with these guys every day, 8 a.m. So like I just soaked in so much of the game of basketball and just seeing it through their lens. Cause like I was really more so when I was going there, I really didn't think about that aspect about older teammates, guys who like been doing this their whole life, professional. I'm just thinking about me kind of. So I'm just like, oh yeah, I'm about to go in there. I'm about to kill. I'm about to take over. I still definitely did good, 13-9, but I definitely didn't like, my mind was bigger than what happened. I definitely made a lot of money, but it wasn't like my team, like, cause I was the younger guy. And when that kind of hit me, that's when I kind of like took a step back, and it made me go even harder. Cause when the coach first told me that, like the first game of the season, he brought me off the bench. My whole family was there, everything was there. And I just was like so fired. I went and got 22 points off the bench. And then the whole crowd was going crazy. They was just like, oh my God, this American, like, who is this? Like this rookie. And then when I just was hearing rookie, I'm just thinking like, dang, like, I didn't think about it like I am a rookie. So like people just keep calling me rookie, and it's like getting to me. So then that's when I just used that as a fire. I kept going. They even kept bringing me off the bench to like last, because they're like, you're a rookie, like you have to play last. Like they was trying to get me to pick up their stuff, and I'm telling them like, bro, I'm a superstar. I'm not no rookie. I don't care. Like I'm not picking up nothing. And then like me and the players would be butting heads. Me and the coach would be butting heads. And then one day he like pulled me to the side, and he was like, you kind of got to accept that role. Like you're a rookie. Like this guy on your team, he's 45. He has kids. Like, like he's telling me like these dudes have kids. Like this dude has a 13-year-old who's going to be on our team in 4 or 5 years, like watching the games. And I'm just looking at it like, dang, like you're right. Like,
it's actually definitely different overseas.
Yeah, exactly.
Like that, when I was overseas playing basketball, there were definitely kids 15, 16 years old.
Yeah.
In professional
exactly,
leagues.
Young professional teams.
And they're not necessarily as good as any kid in the States.
Yeah.
But that's just how
they're developing.
That's just how they're developing them as a professional, to be a professional.
Exactly.
And in that country, it's a big deal.
Yeah.
One of the things that I hear you speaking about that really hits me hard is when you were talking about people accepting roles earlier. And then you talk about how you came off the bench last.
Yeah.
Of course, I've been coaching post-grad for 10 years. And this year, we had a kid with there was some time left in the game. Mm-hmm. The game was not a blowout yet. If the kid would have went in and play the minutes, he had a chance to be a hero.
Yes, sir.
Because the game is close, the opponent is good, and that's definitely good film. But the kid refused to go in the game. And that just tells you like what the state of mind is, the state of the game, the state of the player these days. Like some kids don't come off the bench last and even get in the game or try to get in the game because they see it as an insult.
Yeah.
They make an excuse. How dare you gonna put me in the game
Right.
when I'm not warmed up? And I'm thinking, I'm trying to let you be a superstar. I'm trying to break bread here. I'm trying to give you the opportunity of a lifetime to go in and save the day. And then next time, you're undoubtedly going to start the game because you went and just saved the game for us. But that's not how it was viewed. It was a big fiasco. I ended up, I'm always a very emotional coach. Like, I'm not going to just let somebody run all over me. So I'm going to give them my opinion. And I don't remember what exactly was said, but I'm sure I gave them my disgust of the situation. And so I look back on it now, it still bugs me a little bit because every once in a while, you'll still deal with a situation similar to that. And we had 2 situations after that were indeed similar, where people refused to go in the game at certain times, and we were playing against quality opponents like Fort Union Military Academy, Hargrave Military Academy, where these games matter. And like if you go in, and even if you're down by 15 or you're down by 11, but you hit a couple 2 or 3 threes, you get a steal, and you get a hustle play, then all of a sudden, that's a quality opportunity that you just put in front of a coach somewhere that you got on video. So that's sort of the ins and outs of what I deal with. I don't think you dealt with that as much as back when you were with me, as far as I've done now.
Yeah, I'd definitely say, because like everybody, all my coaches, I tell them, like Patrick Grayson, that's my favorite coach of all time. He pushed me to death. He played me the whole game, but it wasn't like oh yeah, buddy, go play the whole game. No, it was like fiery playing the whole game. And I love that fire. I had teammates with that fire. Like I love coaches that push me, but like what you said, I definitely would say it comes with time, because I did that one time basically. I was a player in high school. Like I played the whole game basically. I still the same player you saw basically. I was that in high school. And the first game in the playoffs, the coach decided to basically, like he said, he brought me off the bench. He didn't tell me though first, so he just brings me off the bench. The whole crowd is packed. When he didn't say my name in the starting lineup, I just looked at him. He just looked at me. He said, "What?" And I just put me on the bench. I'm just sitting there. He doesn't say nothing to me. I'm just sitting there going through it, like first 6 minutes going crazy. And I'm just like, no way, this is the playoff. And then I'm just trying to keep composure. At the end of the first quarter, buzzer rings. He tried to come over to me. He said, "I'm only keeping you off the bench because I know they scouted you. We're about to kill them. Once they keep this game tired, they get tired. You can run around them all day."
Yeah.
So then that's when he said that. But I still was like, a kid at that time. So it's like, when you say those things, I understand it comes with time, because I still told him no. I said, "I don't want to get in." He said, "Are you crazy? It's the playoffs." I said, "Coach, I don't care, honestly. It's like, this is my career. I'm not going to get in." And then I said, "You decided to bring me off the bench, right? And I've decided to not play." And he lost his mind. So it's just like, I definitely understand, but it comes with time. Like, you got to grow, like, at the end of the day.
And that may be something that happens to a lot of kids.
Yeah.
Like it's not something that I ever thought about as a player. I didn't usually start the game. I was more or less somebody that liked to come off the bench as a sixth man. I like to see kind of what I was getting into before I got on the floor. You know me, I was a pass first guy. I'm very good at it. But it's just some of these things that we come across in basketball, especially with young men leaving their parents and getting out for the first time. You certainly deal with a lot of funny situations. Like you've been with us this whole weekend at Rock Hill, South Carolina, which has been good. We've enjoyed having you. But I think I'm still as fiery. I'm still loud and obnoxious. I can look over and let a player have it, be over it in 2 minutes.
Yeah, exactly.
I put them right back in. I don't hold a grudge. So I feel like I understand where the players are coming from, and I really appreciate you saying that I'm your favorite coach. That means a lot to me, because I'm really in it for the right reasons. I want kids to go to school. Like, I was not somebody that was picked up out of high school. I wasn't very good at basketball until I was probably, I was my best at 24, but I was getting better at 20, 21. And it's just because, I don't have the type body you have. Like I have a different type body. Like I was very athletic and fast, but I was very short. You know, 5'11" is not tall. Like so, but yeah. So that's get over there, Africa. You come back. You go to Southern Falls. Now you're looking to go somewhere else and take your game to the next level. And I get to share that experience with you as well. So. Where is it you're looking to call the next place home?
Right now, I'm talking to a couple schools, got a couple of D1s, North Carolina Central interested. I just recently talked to Youngstown. They had just gave me a call. So it's like, it's up and down with the recruiting process. Got a couple of big D2s, wing gigs, stuff like that. But it's just like, I'm just putting my faith in God. I'm not rushing it. At the end of the day, the March Madness hasn't even happened. So it's like, what's the rush for? So, I'm just sitting back, putting my film together, talking to as much school as I can. And I know by the end of April, May, like I'll find a great home.
And I tell my kids every year that you're not going to be placed before the process has a chance to do the process.
Exactly.
Like the reality is I don't know when this NIL stuff started, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, whatever. But since that started, and now kids don't have to sit out 2 years. They're going to enter the transfer portal, and a lot of kids, and not all kids, but a lot of kids are naive. Like, because a kid's first instinct is, why am I not playing?
Yeah.
I'm better than everybody else on the team. And that's, if I right now got in front of our whole team, with you standing there, and I said, who's the best player on the team? Everybody would raise their hand. But most of these kids in the transfer portal, there's a reason they're in the transfer portal for the most part. Now, some of it could be that they're chasing the money, and I get that. You got to chase the money. But then, what about the kids who just aren't necessarily there yet, and they can't admit that they're not there yet? We have kids all the time that get here, and you think they're going to be this or that, and some of them turn out to be this or that. Some of them turn out to be something different. You can't control a level that you get a kid on, but everybody is watching and taking interest, and there's a reason that kids are getting in that transfer portal, because I always told kids, I don't know if I told this to your class, I probably did, but you have to be undoubtedly better than that guy beside you to be on that floor when it gets to be a certain part of the season, because I want to win the basketball game. And look, it's nothing personal. You have one player here, one player here. If you've seen somebody for 10 weeks, 12 weeks, 15 weeks, 9 months, it don't matter. Somebody's established themselves as a better player, and as the average player, the mediocre player, and the player who's not there at all yet. And so, as a coach, I'm trying to win a game just like you are. Look, you played 30 to 35 to 40 minutes for me a game. You played that because you were a dog. And the other 4 or 5 people that played those minutes, they were dogs too, and they wanted to win. And they separated themselves from the other people in the pack when they arrived to experience. So yeah, I feel bad sometimes when somebody don't separate themselves. And I always tell every kid every year, I'm going to be somebody's scapegoat because somebody's not going to be able to accept what I'm saying to them. When I'm not saying it out of meanness or callous, I'm just telling it because I want to win just as bad as you do. I'm a competitor, I'm a former player, and so you have all these different things going and lurking, and then you have things behind the scenes. You have, people that show up late, you have people that stay up all night before, you have just other elements that are also intertwined in the basketball, and that's also keeping them off the floor, and nobody knows those stat lines other than myself, other than Coach Cross, other than the players that are around you. And so that's just the things that we deal with in sports, and it's sad, but it's very much the truth, the unfiltered truth. So, but yeah, I'm glad we had you on today.
Yes, sir.
We want to keep up with you, your family,
Yes, sir.
your Hall of Fame guy at Experience Academy. I had no idea that when we had you, that years later we'd still be going.
Yeah.
Still be going strong. Like I think we've put over 100 kids to school now. We only usually take 15 or 16 a year, so I feel like that's an accomplishment.
Yeah, exactly.
And you're a part of that because you helped build that. Caleb Williams helped build that. People that came here and believed in me and went to school. People that came here believed in me and didn't go where they want to go, but still went somewhere. Usually everybody has the opportunity to go somewhere. Usually the ones that are just knuckleheads don't.
Yeah.
It's not because there's not opportunities, because there are opportunities for anybody who wants to represent themselves, their family, and their brand in the correct way. So, well, we love you here, man. You're one of the greatest, and we're definitely going to keep up with you. Give you shout outs. If you want to tell everybody where they can see your, check your social media.
I guess. My Instagram is 285HEEM. Other than that, Twitter, Raheem Kone. Other thing, Raheem Kone. Last name is spelled Kone. First name RAHEEM. Man. That's about it. You know, just be on the lookout for what I got into next year, because I'm definitely not done. Like, overseas was not it. Like, I was about to be on the Cleveland Charge before I went to Tacoma Falls. I was at their training camp. I need to say that. But just know I got a lot in stock. So, yes, sir.
This is Raheem Kone, Patrick Grayson, The Unfiltered Truth. We're out.
Yes, sir. Peace.